From the Detroit Free Press, it's Monday. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Calling all foodies, Bush's is hiring. Are you passionate about food, looking for growth, development, and excellent wages? Come grow with Bush's and apply online at bushes.com/join our team. That's Bush's, BUSCHS.com/join our team.
I'm Susan Tompor, and I'm a columnist at the Detroit Free Press. We've heard much about supply chain chaos this year, but many of us don't stop and think just how many local businesses are being hit when cargo ships must wait a very long time to be unloaded at West Coast ports and elsewhere. A quirky company called uglychristmassweater.com says it's been waiting months on end for a batch of Jay and Silent Bob themed sweaters, plus some inflatable holiday lawn decorations. The Commerce Township Company thinks its sweaters can be big this year as more people return to festive holiday activities. An established Michigan staple, Bronner's Christmas Wonderland, is waiting on some window decorations and other items. But the CEO of the Frankenmuth Company isn't worried given the extensive inventory of other items. CEO Wayne Bronner said the delays are now 2 months or so. A diverse Battle Creek company said it's tried to reroute some goods to be shipped through Georgia, but shipping containers are sitting on docks there now thanks to a shortage of truck drivers. Eric Stewart, president of Stewart Industries in Battle Creek, calls the transportation bottlenecks madness. Going forward, we'll see how new efforts might help or hurt the supply chain disruptions. Michigan companies know too well that we're dealing with a lot more shortages than microchips and chicken wings here as the U.S. economy reopens after the depths of the COVID-19 crisis.
I'm Sue Selasky, Detroit Free Press food writer. Federal health officials have linked whole onions as the source of a multi-state salmonella outbreak. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says they've traced the source of infections to red, white, and yellow whole onions. The onions were imported from Chihuahua, Mexico, and distributed throughout the U.S. by ProSource Incorporated. 9 people have become sick in Michigan, and there are 652 cases across 37 states. Consumers are urged not to buy or eat any red, white, or yellow onions imported from Mexico and distributed by ProSource. Toss the onions out. If you don't know the source of the onions, toss them out. Wash any surfaces and containers that have come in contact with onions with hot soapy water or in the dishwasher. Symptoms of salmonella infection include diarrhea, fever, and abdominal cramps. Contact your healthcare provider if you have symptoms of salmonella infection. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates salmonella causes more than 1 million infections and 420 deaths in the U.S. every year. Most of the illnesses come from food.
I'm Adrienne Roberts reporting for the Detroit Free Press. A new Detroit Regional Chamber poll reveals some of the ways the pandemic has impacted Michigan's labor market. More than a third of state residents from ages 18 to 29 who were employed prior to the pandemic changed jobs over the course of the last year and a half. That same Detroit Regional Chamber poll found there was a 5.9% drop in the labor force participation rate, a measure of people working or actively looking for work, for Michigan residents ages 50 to 64 throughout the course of the pandemic. And there was a 5.4% drop for those ages 65 and older. That's the sharpest decline compared with other ages. Workers, both young and old, want better jobs and more flexibility, leading them to change jobs in the case of many younger workers or retire. But there were also older workers who were forced into retirement because their role was eliminated, the company was going out of business, they feared getting COVID-19 at work, or they were unwilling to get vaccinated and their company required them to.
I'm Andrew Hammond for the Free Press Sports Department. The Detroit Lions are now 0-7 on the season. Searching for their first win of 2021, the Lions met with old friend Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday afternoon. In a back-and-forth contest, the Lions had a chance to make a late score, but Jared Goff's pass was intercepted by the Rams' Jalen Ramsey. LA would get the ball back and run out the clock. Goff finished with 268 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Stafford finished with 334 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Next Sunday, the Lions are back in action at 1 p.m. inside of Ford Field against another struggling team, the Philadelphia Eagles.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.